All right, what is up, guys? We are live on X. We are live on YouTube. We are going to go over the MLB games, find some home run pops. Hopefully, we'll talk some weather reports. Kind of going to look at whatever we can. Don't forget to drop your MLB picks in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more. Let's wait for a couple people to get on here before we get talking too much. But we are going to definitely look at the weather report. Lots of positive hitting conditions today. I'll try not to make this live too long. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Just make sure we're live here. All right, we are live. Let's go. Okay. All right, first game up is the Royals and the Mets. Look, we are seeing lots of positive hitting conditions today. As far as the Mets games go, we are looking at 19-mile-an-hour winds blowing kind of out to left center field. Maybe potentially rain as a slight precipitation or chance of rain, but I think it might hold off. 65-degree temperatures. The humidity is low right at the moment, so but I like that 19-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. You got Cole Ragans going. We've seen a high-scoring game yesterday. The Royals ended up winning that one 11-7. Salvador Perez hit a home run. We've seen Pete Alonso hit 2 home runs. In this one for me, though, Cole Ragans, I think, is a little bit better starter here. I think the Royals are just a way better team. The Mets got a win in this series. And I think that's the only win they're going to get. So I'm going to take the Royals here. The Royals are 10-5 this season. In better form. You look at Cole Ragans. He's going to be making his 4th start now. He's given up 1 home run so far in like 17 in the 3rd innings. He had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. 7 strikeouts the game before that. 9 strikeouts the game before that. So the Mets can strike out a lot, so I don't mind that. You got Jose Budo going. He's going to make his 2nd start. He had 6 strikeouts in 6 innings. The Royals just make heavier contact. I think the Royals can win this one. So I'm taking the Royals in that one. I'm also probably going to play Bobby Witt Jr. to hit a home run. He is 2nd in the MLB right now in barrel rate. He's got 17.6% barrel rate. He hasn't hit one for a couple days. I think he's kind of due in a sense. I know I hate saying that, but I think we could see one with the wind blowing out. As far as, like I said, Pete Alonso, Salvador Perez have both hit home runs in back-to-back games. We've seen Starling Marte hit a home run yesterday. Who else can you look at? Nelson Velasquez, not bad. When you look at Bobby Witt, his line is really low, so plus 300 I'm seeing. He's only had 2 home runs that game versus Houston that was back at home, and he hasn't hit one for the last couple games. So he could potentially get one. I honestly wouldn't blame me for taking Salvador Perez either. As far as on the Mets side, I mean, I don't know if Cole Ragans is going to give up a home run or not, but I could see Cole Ragans having a good start. So I don't know who I'd go with on the Mets side. I can't really decide as far as the Mets go. As far as hitting conditions here, it's looking like, I mean, this one's it's saying somewhat positive, so not a ton, but I think with the wind blowing out there and the pressure in the air, it should be a positive hitting condition anyway. As far as like first run inning stats or anything like that, I could see the Royals scoring in the 1st inning, obviously, but it's these teams are both kind of like middle of the pack. The Mets are 7-7 to the no-run 1st inning. The Royals are 8-7 to the no-run 1st inning. I just hate taking a nerfy when that's like heavy winds blowing out. Both these pitchers could start and get out of the 1st inning with no runs, but these ones we've seen runs 1st inning the last game. It's hard to take a nerfy and lay juice on like a -120 or -130 on a nerfy when I think the Royals could potentially score early here. So I don't really have much as far as that goes. The next game, look, we got huge, really good hitting conditions in this one. Let's share the main. Let's share the report here. Guaranteed rate field showing a huge boost as far as home runs and run scoring goes. As far as actual weather, where is it? Oh, come on. As far as the actual weather, seeing like 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing kind of out to somewhat out to right field ish. This is kind of showing straight out and to the left, but it kind of switches as the day goes on. Mid 70s, low 70s temperatures. So I could see both these pitchers potentially giving up something, but I can't get to the White Sox, man. They've scored 1 run. They've been outscored 16-1 in this series so far. I think the Reds could easily win this game again. Michael Soroka, Graham Ashcraft. I don't really have a lot of faith in Michael Soroka. And with a White Sox team that is absolutely struggling, their lineup is depleted. They basically are running like a AAA team right now. They've scored they had that 17 last season. They had a 17-run game, but their last 2 games you're looking at is like pathetic. They scored 6 runs, 7 runs, and then got shut out again versus Cleveland. So they actually put up some runs in that Cleveland series, which is surprising. Michael Soroka's last start, he only went like 3 innings, I think. Where is it? Michael Soroka. Yeah, 3 2/3 innings. He had 4 strikeouts. He gave up a home run, 3 walks. His pitch count has been in the 70s to low 80s, basically. So he doesn't go deep into games. He's given up home runs in every start so far this season. Obviously, Elly De La Cruz is the wagon on this team right now. He's got 3 home runs in his last 5 games. You're still getting him for like plus 400, I think. Let's look at the Reds as far as barrel rate. The Reds, Elly De La Cruz is now moved into first place for the Reds as far as barrel rate goes. Spencer Steer is still up there. He's getting lots of batted balls. He just hasn't hit a home run recently. He's now moved down to middle of the pack for the team. Will Benson, I was looking at yesterday. He didn't end up playing, so he had the day off. Will Benson's still a good guy to look at for home runs. I think the Reds win this game easily, honestly. I cannot back this White Sox team. Honestly, I'd have to be getting like really good money, really good odds, and like on a team that's only scored 1 run in their last 2 games. It's pretty hard to back them and think that their offense is suddenly just going to start clicking. As far as versus, let's see, we got Soroka's a righty and Ashcraft's are both righty, but they're both righties. But oh shit, I just lost my tab. Reds. Yeah, the Reds versus right-handed pitching. Spencer Steer has a 433 average with 2 home runs and 800 slugging versus righties. And then Elly De La Cruz, 3 home runs, 781 slugging, and a 344 average. Those 2 guys can mash righties. Like I mentioned, their barrel rates are good. Who else? You got Nick Martini. He's got 2 home runs, only 5 hits, though, versus right-handed pitching. And then Will Benson has 1 home run, batting a 206. So not exactly what you want to see as far as if you're looking at a player props for that player. Like you want them to be in the little bit better range than batting 200 versus a throwing hand, right or left or whatever it is, right? So Elly De La Cruz, I think, he's a big threat. He can hit a triple or a double even that turns into a home inside the park home run. So I think when you look at this Reds White Sox game, I take the Reds money line or Reds -1.5, and Sosa and Grossman going under. So for this game, I got Sosa and Grossman going under in home runs. Honestly, the White Sox, you could take pretty much all their guys to go under in home runs. Let's look at the White Sox versus righties as a team. The White Sox versus right-handed pitching. Gavin Sheets has 2 home runs. I looked at him yesterday. The White Sox did nothing. He's the only one I would look at. Obviously, with Luis Robert out, there's not really anybody else on this team. Gavin Sheets has 2 home runs, 360 average, 760 slugging. Sosa, he has 2 hits on the year, batting 167 versus righties. So yeah, him to not hit a home run, definitely would take that one. Grossman also 2 hits, a 133 average and a 133 slugging. So yeah, Grossman and Sosa, definitely I would take not to hit home runs. I do not see those guys getting really anything as far as hits go. So definitely like that one. Yeah, I could see lots of guys struggling as far as this White Sox lineup goes. But when you're looking at a guy that's Sosa's only had 12 at-bats versus right-handed pitching so far this season, so it's not a lot of data to go with. Both these guys, they haven't played, obviously, a lot of the games. Like, they're kind of on and off. Not a lot of guys in this White Sox lineup has played, other than Andrew Vaughn. He's the only one I think that's played every game this season. Benintendi has got a decent amount, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, I definitely don't mind that one at all, taking those guys to not hit home runs. You especially with a pitcher that can potentially get a good outing here. Graham Ashcraft, though, he's given up, he's given up 3 home runs so far this season, but that was to Philly and Milwaukee, so obviously much better caliber teams than the White Sox. The White Sox are, especially missing those 3 guys in the lineup, the White Sox are probably one of the worst teams. Next one we can look at, let's just go to Toronto. This one's next on the list. So Colorado at Toronto. I don't know if they're going to open the dome for this one or not. I'm not sure, but I could see it just being, it is probably going to be just dome here. We're seeing like not really anything as positive numbers, a little boost maybe for doubles, negative run scoring. When you look at this one, the Blue Jays finally got the win and the run line cover yesterday, just barely winning that game 5-3. And then they got blown out 12-4 in that first game. You got Kyle Freeland, the lefty, going here. I think Toronto versus lefties are actually way better versus lefties. Let's just pull up versus the lefties. Blue Jays. Where's Blue Jays? Right there. Blue Jays versus lefties. You got Justin Turner, who has a home run, 7.14 average, and 7 at-bats versus left-handed pitching. Other than that, this team has not had a lot of plate appearances. As far as a team batting as a team versus lefties, Blue Jays ranked 12th, batting 250 as a whole, whereas versus righties they're batting like 200. So I think the Blue Jays with Kyle Freeland, who I don't have a lot of faith in, he only had 2 strikeouts. Oh, 2 strikeouts back to back. Oh, all 3 games actually. He has 2 strikeouts only in all of his games. So not getting a lot of strikeouts. He's given up 3 home runs in 3 starts, 19 earned runs. So yeah, I think the Blue Jays get the run line win again in this one. It sucks because, I mean, Sundays are the underdog days. We usually see it. And I was trying to get to the Rockies. I was trying to find something that would get me on the Rockies just because I don't have a lot of faith in this Blue Jays team. But the Rockies are still only 4-11 on the season. The Blue Jays, like I said, they hit lefties much better. And Jose Barrios has killer stuff. He could be back into potential Cy Young form here. He had 6 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings, no earned runs in his last outing. He gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings the time before that, and the time before that 2 earned runs. So if he pitches a quality start, this Blue Jays bats come alive. I could see a fairly comfortable Blue Jays win. This is not my favorite game. Like I said, I really wanted to get to the the Rockies, but there was just nothing that got me there, especially with this pitching matchup. I don't have a lot of faith in the Rockies. Maybe Justin Turner can hit a home run. I don't know. There's not a lot of data to go with. Like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is batting 167 versus left-handed pitching so far this season. Not a lot of sample size though. You got like George Springer. Has no hits versus lefties. Varsho, no hits versus lefties. Bichette, 1 hit, batting 250 and 4 at-bats. So literally the 1 hit. But Justin Turner has 3 RBIs, batting 714 and 7 at-bats. So that's kind of it. Davis Schneider, if he's in the lineup, he probably won't be because he played yesterday, is like the best guy on this team for hitting versus left-handed pitching. He's got 2 home runs. His average isn't the greatest, but he's got more plate appearances. He's got 4 RBIs, 800 slugging. So I just don't know if he'll be in the lineup. Let's see. I imagine the lineups are starting to come out now. Now that it's a couple hours before game time. Let's just see if anything's been confirmed 100%. Yeah. Schneider, he is in the lineup. So potentially Schneider hitting in the cleanup spot. Justin Turner hitting in the cleanup spot. It's hard to go with these Blue Jays to hit home runs right now just because, like, the Guerrero leads their team in home runs with 3. He's only got 5 RBIs and a 190 average. So even though Rockies are hitting better as far as a team as a whole. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys got Montero, Rogers under home runs. Let's look at Rockies stats here. Rockies versus righties. Honestly, don't mind it because I could see Jose Barrios having a good outing. Sorry, who was it? He said Rogers and Montero. Okay. Rockies versus right-handed pitching. Rogers, he's got 10 hits, 4 doubles, batting 250. No home runs versus right-handed pitching. So he has yet to hit a home run. So good luck there. Montero, no home runs, batting 241 versus righties. These guys' slugging is very low. So honestly, them to not hit home runs, I actually don't mind that. Rogers, let's see. Both, yeah. So Rogers bats in the 7 spot, Montero in the 8 spot. So even less at bats. So yeah, I could see those guys definitely. I can see all 4 so far that you put up definitely not hitting home runs. Being really sluggish to get going. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Decent matchup. Obviously, is a little lopsided when it comes to pitching versus hitting, or pitcher matchup here. But I think the Brewers are just on fire right now. I'm looking at the lineup. I feel like Christian Yelich won't be in. All right, here it is. Yeah, no Christian Yelich. I seen yesterday. He got something they were talking about back soreness or something. So that's a pretty big blow to the Brewers lineup. So I think that obviously is baked into the line, right? Like obviously we know that. When you look at the weather in Baltimore, we got 16 to 20 mile an hour winds blowing straight out to center field, high 70s temperatures. It looks like it's going to be potentially a very good hitting environment. Baltimore, as far as the computer model likes more as runs, doesn't love as much for home runs, but man, these guys can all mash. Like there's no doubting or no denying that. We've seen Jordan Westburg hit a home run yesterday. Colton Cowser's got 2 home runs in his last 5. As far as on let's go this game. Baltimore. Hoskins hit a home run yesterday. Like I said, Westburg. Mountcastle hit a home run. Jake Bowers got his first home run yesterday. Adley Rutschman hit one yesterday. Corbin Burns obviously is a good pitcher. He's going to be making his first start versus former team. He kind of got chucked. I don't think he was expecting to get traded from Milwaukee. And I mean, I don't know if the Brewers got the better of that trade or not, but I think that the I don't know. I think this is a bad trade, but that's just my opinion. When you look at this head-to-head status, Milwaukee still owns this matchup. They're still won 8 of the last 10. They've scored 11 runs in both of the games so far. Obviously, with Colin Rea, you got a little bit different matchup here, but you've seen him get the win. He pitched 6 innings. He only had 3 strikeouts, but he hasn't given up a home run yet this season. He's only got 5 strikeouts in 11 innings. That's very concerning. Corbin Burns, 6 strikeouts in 7 innings last game against Boston. He had given up 1 home run there. Versus Kansas City, he only had 3 strikeouts in that one, but he had 11 strikeouts in his first start versus the Angels when he gave up that solo home run to Mike Trout. So the only thing is, like, the Brewers really know everything about Corbin Burns, right? So that's the only thing with, like, do the Brewers get to him because they know him so well? But backing Colin Rea, he's gotten the wins in both starts, but he only has 5 strikeouts. So versus an Orioles team that can potentially, not get a lot of strikeouts, that's it's a little scary if you're on the Brewers side as far as this game goes anyway. Looking at righty versus righty matchups here, let's look at the Brewers versus righties. So Christian Yelich being out of the lineup, like I said, is a big blow. He's got 3 home runs versus right-handed pitching already this season. But you got Willy Adames, 3 home runs, batting .320 versus righties. William Contreras, 3 home runs, batting .378 versus righties. Hoskins, 3 home runs, batting .275 versus righties. Even Jackson Churrio's got 2 home runs, batting .239. So this whole team as a whole can mash righties. You got, Holiday and Frelick I'll show this for going under. So you're taking them not to hit home runs. So when researching home runs, there's kind of a lot. I want to look at batter versus pitcher matchups first. Obviously, that only gives you the first 5 innings potentially or so. But when you're looking at home runs, you want to look kind of at players that have fairly good barrel rates. So let's look at the Orioles as far as who's hitting the ball hard, who's making good contact. As far as the Orioles, Colton Cowser leads the Orioles now with 11.8% barrel rate. Ryan Mountcastle has a good barrel rate. So does Jordan Westberg. And then you got Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. In the bottom is Anthony Santander. His average home runs are only going for 370, 375. So he's hitting the worst on paper right now for this Orioles lineup. So I look at barrel rate. You can also look at pitchers who give up hard contact too. Looking at potentially players that are hot, the streaks that they're on, how they've played in that particular environment. But obviously having weather conditions helps, knowing what the weather's doing. So wind blowing in or blowing out. So when the wind is blowing heavily out to the center field, like it is in Baltimore today, with fairly decent warm temperatures, it's going to be a little bit obviously an advantage to the hitter versus the pitcher. So it's better to look at kind of stuff like that. I use lots of paid computer models and sources, so it gives me a little bit more information than you can just find on looking up. But you can find lots of stuff if you through Googling statistics and MLB.com and StatCast and all that stuff. But it can take a lot. You can go down the rabbit hole when it comes to looking for stuff. Taking players not to hit home runs, though, honestly, isn't bad. Sometimes I do it. It's just usually you have to put quite a few together to get like a decent number as far as odds go. Yeah, like most players are getting 4 at bats, sometimes 5 at most, usually through a game. So as long as that player, doesn't make any solid contact, it's pretty good. I've put 5 guys in a parlay to get plus money, the no home run parlay, but it's just trying to find those guys because if you're doing a no home run parlay, I wouldn't want to be laying like minus 200 on it. And personally, like I just don't like laying that heavily a juice even on anything like that. But if you get 4, 5, 6 players in that can give you close to even money, I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah. So putting 5 to 6 players in, you can double up your money. Yeah. So that's usually the best way to do it. As far as this game goes, I really want to take the Brewers plus the 1.5. Just because the Orioles have scored 6 runs, the Brewers have scored 22. It is Corbin Burns. I want to see if this game gets off to a crazy start. Like if it starts slow or if it gets rolling really fast, because the Brewers do know what Corbin Burns throws. Obviously playing with him for years, they know about him. They have all the stats on him. The Brewers as a team so far are 8-5 to the no-run first inning. We've seen that last game yesterday go yes runs first inning. So the Orioles are 7-7, so 50-50. This one's kind of tough for me as far as like a nerfy or yerfy situation. Obviously, you look at Corbin Burns and you think no-run first inning, right? But you look at how stacked the Brewers are. Then you look at Colin Rea, who can give up lots of fly balls, who can give up contact. So that's my only concern there. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Hold on, let's see. Okay. Rangers, Astros here. We'll go over the Angels, Red Sox, and Pirates, Phillies game next, I think. I don't know why this one's in this slot, but actually, yeah, let's go over the games in order. Yeah, let's go Pirates, Phillies first. Just because this one starts sooner than the other one. Mitch Keller going versus Zach Wheeler. The two righties here. Let's see. Phillies versus righties. So you got Brandon Marsh, who's absolutely mashing right-handed pitching. 4 home runs, 767 slugging, 367 average, 11 hits, and 30 at-bats. He does strike out a lot, but he has 8 RBIs, 4 home runs. Real Muto, who should be, I think he's out because with that wrist injury, he got hit with the ball. I don't know. He might. Let's look at the lineup here. We'll do the Angels game after this one. Lineups. Real Muto is in the lineup here. He's batting the 4th spot. Okay, so you got Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Realmuto, Bohm, Marsh. All his home runs have come off right-handed pitching. And then you got O'Neill Cruz leading off for the Pirates. All right. So as far as this one goes, I really want to take the Pirates, honestly, but they let's see. The line moved now? Let's look at this. Let me pull it up. Line plus, yeah, okay, plus 160 for the Pirates. I don't know. The only concern is Mitch Keller on the road. Usually not the greatest pitcher on the road, but when you look at these, we've seen low scoring games, 5-1, 5-2, 4-3, like pretty close, lower scoring games. Kind of a lack of offense essentially, but maybe that's just because the pitchers have been doing their job. When you look at Citizens Bank Park today, we're seeing like a 15% boost in runs, boost in pretty much everything there. The wind blowing 18 to 20 miles an hour out to out to center field, basically 70-degree temperatures. If anybody lives in Philly, let me know what the weather's doing. But it looks like there's going to be some wind blowing out at Citizens Bank Park here. The Phillies can hit right-handed pitching. Let's see what their average is this season. Oh, what is it? Sure. Pirates, Phillies. All right. Yeah, so like I said, Brandon Marsh, obviously. Righties. All right, so Pirates are 6th in the league, batting .269 versus right-handed pitching. Phillies are 27th, batting .206 as a team versus righties. What does that change when you look at recent history? Let's see. Go to the last few games. So the Pirates are batting .300 versus right-handed pitching over the last 5 games. Whereas the Phillies, their numbers jump up from 200 to 220. Mitch Keller here, his last 3 starts, he's given up only 1 home run. He had 9 strikeouts in his last start versus the Tigers. He gave up 2 earned runs. He can give up lots of hits. That's the thing. And if you give up lots of hits to this Phillies team, you got a guy that comes in and, like Brandon Marsh, who can hit a solid ball and end up giving this Phillies team a chance. So, I mean, I think the number's where it is for good reason, but do I want to lay like minus 200 with the Phillies right now? Not really. I mean, it is Zach Wheeler, but if you look at all these guys as far as like hard hit rate and barrel rate and stuff, not one guy has a barrel rate over 6% on this Phillies team. So they've started pretty slow. Castellanos, yeah, he has a good matchup as far as what the matchup was versus Keller. Castellanos has 2 home runs, but he's seen him 29 times, 241 average. Let's see, where's the Phillies? Castellanos is batting 179 this season versus right-handed pitching, no home runs. So honestly, yeah, that I wouldn't blame you for taking Castellanos not to hit a home run, because lots of these Phillies players have been struggling as far as hitting home runs. I don't have anybody on the sheet that even has multiple home runs, 2 home runs in the last 5 games. This game I wanted to find something, but I'm just like, where's the player that's standing out, right? When you look at like the solid matchups, other than like Bryce Harper, there's not really any guys on the Phillies team that is solid as far as the numbers go. Bryce Harper hits fairly well versus lefties and righties, so Bryce Harper here. So far though this season, like typically he has 2 home runs, only 4 hits in 25 at-bats. That's not very good, right? So it's kind of hard to get to a guy who's batting 160 right now. I mean, anybody can hit a ball and get it loose, but like you look at a lot of these guys versus right-handed pitching, and their numbers are bad. Like Garrett Stubbs, he doesn't have a lot of at-bats, so his average is kind of skewed. Trey Turner batting 241. He's only got 7 hits so far. No home runs still versus righties. Alec Boehm is like a decent guy as far as making contact. So I don't know. I don't really have anybody that I can get to about, like, I really want to, but like I don't have a lot of faith, man, in these. So yeah, Realmuto has 1 home run, 6 hits, and 13 at bats versus Keller, batting .462. Other than that, like Kyle Schwarber, 1 home run, 6 hits, 11 at bats. But I mean, Kyle Schwarber, you're getting him at like plus 200 probably. Like it's just, I don't know, it just sucks. Obviously, you put him in a parlay and you can make something work. But let's see. if anybody's got anything for this Pirates Phillies game as far as like player props, um, honestly, I think I could probably get talked into taking the Pirates plus the 1.5 instead of laying -180 or -200 or whatever it is with the Phillies, just because that seems kind of crazy to me. Pirates plus 1.5 at like -130. Maybe they keep this game close. They have been hitting pretty well. Not my favorite game, honestly. Just Zach Wheeler still hasn't recorded a win, I don't think yet. Like he does have lots of strikeouts, but not somebody that I'm like super high on right now. He gave up a home run in his last start, and when the Phillies got blanked, but he went 7 innings, but he only got 5 strikeouts. So it's like, is he kind of regressing? I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to take O'Neal Cruz, but to get a home run. But when you look at, let's see, where is it? Yeah, this one. Got so many friggin' things open here. O'Neal Cruz versus right-handed pitching. 3 home runs, 359 average, 615 slugging. So, like, he's the best as far as their team goes for hitting home runs versus righties. O'Neal. Oops. Let's look at player home runs. All right. Player home runs, Phillies. O'Neal Cruz, I'm seeing like plus 400, plus 425 for O'Neal Cruz. And I mean, those numbers that I just mentioned has a big thing to do with it. Castellanos under is -700, so he could be added to your list, I guess, to put as an underplay. But as far as, let's see, let's look at the Pirates as far as hard hit rate. We'll move on in a second. I just want to. O'Neal Cruz still only has like a 5% barrel rate, but he's batting good versus righties, so he can catch one with the advantage of the wind. I mean, obviously Zach Wheeler can pitch 6-7 innings and not give up any home runs. So that's the only concern with taking that, and him only at plus 400. Edward Olivieri leads this team at 14.3% barrel rate. So yeah, I don't know. I think we could see some underdogs get some wins today. Like Sundays are big underdogs days, but I would take the Pirates plus 1.5. Just we've seen lower scoring games. Like it could be another close game. So, all right, where's the next slide here? There we go. Found it. All right. Red Sox Angels. Look at this one as far as the weather. We're seeing like 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out. Temperatures in the mid 50s. Humidity is 40 to 50%. So not terrible. You see Tyler Anderson, the lefty, going versus Brian Bale. Now I have some concerns when it comes to Brian Bale, but the Angels plus 110. Red Sox -130, total set at 10. I mean, the thing with let's see, let's look at the Angels versus righties. And then we'll look at the Red Sox versus lefties. Yes, so the Red Sox are still dealing with those injuries. Rafael Devers looks to be still out with that injury. Tyler O'Neill, I don't think he even played. I don't know. I don't know if he played yesterday or not. Let's look at the lineup for this game. I definitely like making picks on games and stuff when I actually see even playing props when I actually know where the players are hitting, when I actually have a lineup of who's in. So we see Mike Trout's hitting in the 6th spot, and then Taylor Ward, who has been on fire too, is hitting in the cleanup spot, hitting 4th. Other than that, you see your basic Angels lineup. As far as Boston, you got Jarren Duran leading off, no surprise there. Tyler O'Neill batting in the 3 spot. Tristan Casas hitting in the cleanup spot. All right, so All right, so we've seen Boston get the 7-2 win yesterday. That one I was expecting to be a little bit higher scoring, but I figured it would be somewhere like that, especially after the Red Sox got blanked and had two of their main guys missing. You look at Tyler Anderson, his last start, no earned runs given up, no home runs. He only had 3 strikeouts in 7 innings. He's went 7 innings in his last 2 starts. He had 5 strikeouts before that. So he's making his 3rd start of the year. He's gotten wins in both of his starts and limited, obviously, runs. So definitely something that you want to see from your starting pitcher. You look at Brian Bale on the other side, his last start, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 5 1/3 innings. The one before that versus Oakland, he gave up 4 earned runs and 2 home runs. So, I mean, Bale, you can probably count on him to give you 5 innings. When you look at the bullpens, the Angels are still like kind of top 10 as far as ERA. They've given up 8 home runs, have a 5.03 ERA. The Red Sox do have the better bullpen as far as the numbers wise. They've given up 7 home runs, but their ERA is 3.24. You look at Yoshida, Renhefo under home runs. Okay, so let's look at Renhefo. He's batting 346 with no home runs, 9 hits versus right-handed pitching. I mean, he's not slugging, obviously, so he's batting in the 2 spot. He only has 2 RBIs. He's a switch hitter, but not him and Rendon basically haven't been doing a lot as far as leading off in that lineup. Everybody's still waiting for Rendon to hit a home run. So those 2 guys, yeah, I wouldn't be too high on them to hit home runs, obviously, either. As far as the Red Sox versus lefties, Tristan Casas has a home run, batting 294 versus lefties, but only slugging at 529. All these guys are pretty low numbers. Connor Wong has 1 home run, batting 385 versus lefties. Reese McGuire, 1 home run, batting 200. So not a lot of good numbers versus lefties as far as the Red Sox go. Tyler O'Neill batting 167 versus left-handed pitching. No home runs, no doubles. I don't even think he has any. Oh, he has 2 hits. So Tyler O'Neill struggling versus left-handed pitching. Who was in the cleanup spot? Is it Casas? Yeah, so Casas, if I was going to look at anybody for a home run, it would probably be Casas. He has 2 in his last 5. He hits lefties all right. So if he could get to anybody, and then I mean Mike Trout is hard to ignore. Mike Trout mashes right-handed pitching. He's got home runs in 2 of his last 5 games. He's batting 298 average, slugging at 750, 745. He's got 6 home runs versus righties. I feel bad for the guy, honestly. He's on a team that just doesn't really have anybody that's going to get them anywhere. So he's never going to win a World Series when playing with the Angels, unfortunately. And then you got Taylor Ward, 4 home runs, batting 280 versus right-handed pitching. So honestly, I like the Angels in this game. I think they have the better starter in Tyler Anderson. I like the fact that they're getting plus money. I mean, they did only score 2 runs yesterday, but I think the Red Sox do struggle a little bit versus lefties, like I said. So I don't really want to back the Red Sox or lay juice with the Red Sox as far as hard hit rate and stuff like that goes. Tyler O'Neill still leading the team. Obviously, Rafael Devers is out, so his numbers are kind of irrelevant. Reese McGuire's next. He's got a barrel rate just over 8. But Tristan Casas, he's had 38 batted ball events. 17 of them have went over 95 miles per hour off the bat. So him and Jarren Duran kind of hit similar. But I think that's kind of that. That's about it. So I'm going to take the Angels. I just like the fact that they're plus money here. Taylor Ward and Mike Trout have a good barrel rate. I think we could see those guys kind of get to anybody on this Red Sox team. As far as Brian Bale, I could see both of them getting to him again. So Tyler Anderson could pitch another decent no-run inning. He's given up no-run runs in 14 innings, no home runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. So obviously the strikeout number is not where you want to be, but I just think he's a little bit better starter there. What else? What's the next game we can Minnesota, Detroit. Let's go to that one. Do I have a slide for this game? Maybe not. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, Minnesota, Detroit. Let's see. In Comerica Park, we are seeing wind blowing kind of out to the. We're seeing lots of good hitting conditions, lots of wind blowing out in lots of these games. 75-degree temperatures, humidities in the 60s, 13 to 15 mile an hour winds. Bailey Ober going against Jack Flaherty. I don't know how much I really love Jack Flaherty in this one, but this Tigers team is scrappy. Let's see. We did see them lose. I think they ended up losing both of those games in that head-to-head series or that doubleheader yesterday. Bailey Ober, in his last start, he pitched versus the Dodgers. He had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, no home runs. And then his previous start, he gave up 3 home runs to Kansas City. He only went an inning and a third there. When you look at Flaherty, I don't have a lot of faith in Jack Flaherty. He's given up home runs in back-to-back starts, 7 earned runs. He does have 12 strikeouts in 12 innings. 5 strikeouts to Oakland, not really the greatest, and then 7 strikeouts to the White Sox. So not really the greatest. Obviously, the 2 bad teams that strike out a lot. So I don't love this Twins team. I really don't. But let's see. Their line it's a pick 'em right now. Total at 8.5. I kind of want to just root for runs in this one. Let's see. The Tigers, right. All right, so the Twins have allowed a run to be scored in the first inning 4 times in a row now. The Tigers 7 times in a row. So these 2 teams are more yes-run first inning teams. For whatever reason, they're just, they allow hits to get scored or lead off home runs or third batter home runs. I'm going to root for runs in this one. As far as players that I would look at, I mean, Mark Hanna is always a guy you can look at, but I don't know if he has the greatest matchup history here. All right. Edward Julian for the Twins leading off here in this one. He's already hit 4 home runs this season. He's got home runs in 2 of his last 5 games, I think. 3 of his last 5 games. Yeah, 2 of his last 5. Let's look at the Twins versus hard hits. This one. Got both righties. Okay, so Twins versus right-handed pitching. Oops. Tigers versus righties. Twins. Sorry, guys, I'm just pulling up some other numbers and stuff here. All right, so Julian is only batting 176 versus right-handed pitching, but he does have 3 home runs. Ryan Jeffers, obviously, he's got 2 home runs in his last 5 games, I think. 2 home runs versus right-handed pitching. So those are kind of 2 guys I would look at if you're looking at home runs in this one. What's their hard hit? Julian leads the Twins in 12.8% barrel rate. Jeffers is 3rd on the team. So those guys all hitting the ball hard. Julian, I do like. I could see Flaherty giving up a couple home runs in this one, honestly. So don't mind that one. As far as the Tigers versus right-handed pitching, Riley Green, I was looking at. Mark Hanna does have 2 home runs. His hitting his average is not the greatest. It's like like 180, 190 kind of thing. So that's the only concerning part. Riley Green hitting 222 with 2 home runs, 2 doubles versus righties. Kerry Carpenter finally was getting going. He's hitting 313. So maybe Carpenter would be somebody to look at. Julian on the Twins side. On the Tigers side would be Riley Green leads the Tigers in barrel rate at 10%. Kerry Carpenter is next at 8%, just over 8. And then Matt Vierling and Mark Hanna both just below that. So Riley Green leading off. He's got 3 home runs on the season. Kerry Carpenter hitting in the cleanup spot. Lefty versus righty matchup there. I kind of don't mind that one. He's hitting righties well. Hitting in the cleanup spot. He could end up hitting one. I could see a couple of guys in this Tigers team getting to the opposing pitchers and stuff. I'm just gonna root for runs in this one. Honestly, I think the over could be live. I mean, yeah, we've seen a 4-1 game, but we've seen an 11-5 game, 8-2, and then you look at the last 10. I mean, 6 of the last 10 have went over between these two teams. So usually totals set in like the 7.5 to 8.5 range. But if this number was at 8, I would like it a lot more, just with the push potential at the over. That's kind of all I got really for there. And like I said, for whatever reason, these teams are allowing runs to be scored early in the first innings. Yes run first inning. So the Tigers are 5-1 to the yes runs first inning at home. The Twins are at the top somewhere. Yeah. The Twins 5-3 to the yes run first innings on the road. Like I said, four straight times. I mean, the Yerfy is a pick 'em. I mean, I don't know. Some people can't stomach the Yerfys, but I think sweating them out is the same. You're sweating out a Yerfy or a Nerfy. It's the same either way. Like, they're both the same kind of adrenaline rush. I'd rather root for, I don't know. It's hard to say. I like both, but so looking at so Minnesota. So Julian for a home run, probably on the Twins side, and I don't know. I could get a couple of guys on the Tigers side in this one. What game? All right, where are we at next? Braves, Marlins, Yankees, Guardians. Which one? What should we do next? Let's go Yankees, Guardians. Yeah, let's go Yankees, Guardians next. This one. Logan Allen, Nestor Cortez. We got the lefties going. Logan Allen gave up 5 runs in the first inning, that his last start to the White Sox. So that kind of pissed me off because I had the Guardians in that one. I was actually laying the run line with them. When you look at head-to-head, the Yankees have still owned this matchup. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings. We've seen the Yankees take both in that doubleheader. The Guardians scored 2 runs in both of those games. Nestor Cortez pitched 8 innings in his last outing where they shut out Miami, that 7-0 win. He gave up obviously no earned runs. He had 6 strikeouts. He pitched over 100 innings in that one. So he's on regular rest here for this one. I honestly don't mind Nestor Cortez. I think he could be a decent pitcher. Like I said, Logan Allen got the loss in the last one. He went 4 innings. He gave up 5 earned runs, all being in the first inning of that game. He gave up 2 home runs in his first start of the season. Since then, he hasn't given up one. And Nestor Cortez gave up 1 home run versus the Astros, and since then, he hasn't given up one either. So let's look at these guys versus left-handed pitching. We'll look at the Yankees first versus lefties. Versus lefties. All right. So as a team, the Guardians rank third in the as far as average versus left-handed pitching, hitting 300 versus lefties. The Yankees are 10th, batting 253 versus lefties. The Yankees only have 3 home runs versus left-handed pitching. The Guardians have 0. When you look at the actual team, I think Juan Soto, even in his lefty-on-lefty matchup, Juan Soto can be dangerous. I think he hit one yesterday. I'm just pulling up all the lineups, stats, and stuff here. See if we got some confirmed lineups yet or not. All right, so we got Soto hitting in the 2 spot with Stanton hitting in the cleanup spot, and then you got Josh Naylor on the other side hitting in the cleanup spot. Let's look at the Yankees hard hit. All right, so as far as barrel percentage, Juan Soto has a 10% barrel rate. Same with Stanton. Aaron Judge is only at 6%, and then it just gets worse from there. I think Oswaldo Cabrera went yard yesterday, I think, but his barrel rate's really low. So usually he hits in the bottom of the lineup, and usually his lines are pretty high, like plus 1,000 and such. But so Josh Naylor has 3 home runs in his last 5 games. Soto has 2 home runs. Stanton has 2 home runs. Judge has actually been pretty quiet. Josh Naylor hit one yesterday. Soto hit one yesterday. All right, so as a team versus lefties, Juan Soto batting 353 with 1 home run versus left-handed pitching. Volpe batting 389 with 1 home run versus lefties. Verdugo batting 278 with 1 home run. So, I mean, Soto is kind of the guy I would. Soto, I don't know. Where's Volpe's leading off, isn't he? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard not to take. It's hard to go with lefty on lefty though too, but for whatever reason, Juan Soto actually hits lefties really well. So, all right, yeah. So, I mean, Soto has a good barrel rate. Obviously, Stanton, the righty, hitting in the cleanup spot, good barrel rate. So, I could pretty much make the case for either one of those guys. Josh Naylor on the other side leads the Guardians with about an 11% barrel rate. He's hitting the ball pretty hard when he hits it. His average home run is over 400 feet. So Josh Naylor, I mean, 3 home runs in his last 5 games. He's pretty dangerous. You look at these bullpens head-to-head. The Guardians have only given up 1 home run. The Yankees have given up 4 home runs. Both their bullpens have been pretty sharp, like ERAs around the 2 mark. I think Nestor Cortez is just a little bit better starting pitcher in this one versus Logan Allen. I don't think Logan Allen's going to get you too deep into the game, but then you bring in the Guardians bullpen, who's been fairly solid. Only thing is they played a doubleheader today, but the Yankees have owned this matchup. I could see the Yankees getting another win here. The Yankees are hot right now. And I mean, I'm not too hot on this Cleveland Guardians team as a whole. I'm seeing the Yankees at like minus 130 favorites most places. So if the Guardians were like plus 130, plus 140, I'd maybe think about it. But I don't know. I don't really have anything as far as the total goes. I would lean to the Yankees, but just due to some of their guys being able to hit. Maybe the Yankees in the first 5 innings get to Logan Allen and don't have to worry about bullpens. Maybe we see the Yankees hit Logan Allen quickly or fairly early, and then as long as they have the lead at through 5 innings, then once Cortez gets pulled and these bullpens come in, then we can maybe see a switch. But I think I would take the Yankees first 5. I lean to the Yankees in the full game too, honestly. All right, so next, Charlie Morton, Jesus Luzardo, Miami. Miami and the Braves here. Where's my slides? My slides aren't in order today at all. It's bad. But we're here for it. All right. Still got time to cook up something that could be all right. We got like an hour and a half till game starts. So, all right. So the Braves lost yesterday 5-1. I was kind of surprised at that one, but also not, because for some reason the Braves struggle versus Miami. Braves have won 6 of the last 10. We've seen 8 of the last 10 go over the total. Obviously, yesterday we've seen an under. Braves lineup didn't show up at all. Charlie Morton, the righty, going here. He gave up a home run in his last game versus the Mets. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's got 10 strikeouts in his last 11 in the third innings. 7 walks. That's the only kind of concerning thing, would be the walks here. Jesus Luzardo has struggled. That Yankees game, he gave up like 7 earned runs, 2 home runs, 5 walks. He has yet to record a win. He has losses in like a lot. Going back to last season, he's had 3 straight losses so far this year. He's given up a home run in every start so far this season, given up 4 total home runs. I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I trust Luzardo in this spot. Like I was on the Braves yesterday because I thought Chris Sale was gonna kind of dominate. When you look at this one, it's kind of tough because Luzardo can pitch well at any point, but I kind of just want to take the over in this game. I think there's a slight value on the over here. All right, so let's look at the computer. Man, again, if I wish this total was at 8 instead of 8.5. But when you look at the computer model, it does have like a 9% edge on the over. Like I said, we've seen some overs in this matchup. 8 of the last 10 have gone over. The first game it was barely went over, and that was the one run. As far as the Marlins scored 1 run to help it go over, just barely. When you look at this one, the roof, like they opened the roof yesterday, I think. Who knows if they are going to do that today? It's kind of hard to know for sure whether they're going to open the roof or not unless they announce it. As far as home run hitting boosts, there really isn't any as far as the computers are concerned. Versus lefties, let's look at the Braves versus lefties. Marcelo Zuna batting .333 with 1 home run. Matt Olson, who is a lefty, batting .182 with 1 home run. As far as that goes, we still have yet to see anything from Acuna. Acuna's batting .143 versus left-handed pitching. He only has 2 hits. That's it. No. Acuna's been slow to start the season. Let's look at these Marlins versus righties. Okay. So Jake Berger, obviously kind of leads this team right now. He's got 3 home runs, batting .321, slugging at .714 versus righties. I think he hit one yesterday. Or maybe it was Josh Bell that went yesterday. Oh yeah, it was Josh Bell that homered yesterday. When you look at Josh Berger, though, he does have, let's see, one. Looking at head-to-head, let's go last 5 here. He has 1 home run in his last 5 games. 2024. Stupid thing. Giants versus Raiders. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the over in this game, but maybe a Jake Berger home run. As far as like a Brave for a home run, I don't really have anything. I mean, Ozuna is kind of the go-to guy right now, just because he's the one you can count on. Like maybe the Braves offense gets going, but in a more pitcher-friendly ballpark, it is definitely harder. You never know when Luzardo's going to get back into his old form. Maybe he pitches a gem. So it is kind of tough for me to get to very many home run props in this game. I'm just going to lean to the over. I think that's – I don't think I can get to taking the Marlins right. I want to, but I don't think I can. I've seen this line open like plus 140-ish, and it's already dropped quite a bit, so I don't love that either, because now we're losing a lot of value on that line. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This one doesn't – I don't love this game a ton, but let's go to the next one. What is it? San Francisco, Tampa Bay, yeah. All right, San Francisco, Tampa Bay. Blake Snell making a start against his old team. When you look at these teams head-to-head, 5-5 as far as head-to-head stats, who's won. The Giants' bats absolutely came alive yesterday. I think Estrada hit 2 home runs. Matt Chapman went yard. Jorge Soler. The Giants with a big 11-2 win there. Blake Snell, he's kind of susceptible to giving up lots of walks. He did only pitch 3 innings or 3 1/3 inning that last start, I think. He had 5 strikeouts, which is good, obviously. Sean Armstrong on the other side, 1 walk in his 1 inning that he pitched last game, 1 earned run. As far as home runs, this is probably going to be a bullpen game, obviously, for Tampa Bay by the looks of it. But let's look at Giants hard hit rates. All right, so Matt Chapman was on my list as far as home run hitters. I wanted to find a couple other ones, but Matt Chapman does lead the Giants when it comes to barrel rate, around 11%. He's hitting lots of hard contact balls. Average home runs are going for 400. Let's look at him versus shit, sorry guys. Case. It's hard. It's kind of hard to go versus like right-handed, left-handed pitching, but I'm gonna just go versus righties as far as the Giants on this one. I could see them trying to bring in lots of righties for as far as their bullpen goes, but so the Michael Conforto leads the team in slugging versus right-handed pitching. He's got 2 home runs. Estrada now with 2 home runs that he hit yesterday now has 3, so he's up there. Jorge Soler, the lefty, going. He's got 2 home runs. And then Matt Chapman, 3 home runs versus right-handed pitching. He's only got a 353 slugging, his 157 average versus righties. That's the only thing that kind of concerns me, is that his average isn't the greatest versus righties so far. It's kind of hard to go versus a bullpen game. Sorry, guys. Okay, so when you look at the Giants, their last 5 games versus right-handed pitching, their average goes up quite a bit. They're hitting like 250. God damn it. The Rays, you look at their last 5 games, they're hitting 185 over their last 5 games versus left-handed pitching. The Giants bullpen should be fairly rested with the fact that they had a blowout win yesterday. Blake Snell on the mound. My only concern is Snell gives up lots of walks, like I said, but I think he could strike out quite a few Rays. I do actually kind of lean to the Giants in this one. I'm seeing it's probably going to be a pick 'em, most likely. Probably should close around a pick 'em. Minus 110, yeah. I think the Giants, it's hard. Matt Chapman has a home run in his career off Sean Armstrong. That was kind of what got me looking at Chapman originally, I think. As far as like any of the Rays, their history versus Blake Snell is all bad, like all not like all red numbers when I'm looking at as far as averages, no home runs. So I don't know. I like Blake Snell to potentially pitch a decent one. My only concern is how deep is he going to go into this game. The Tampa Bay Rays do have the worst bullpen on paper still. They've given up 11 home runs. Their whip is at 1.74. The Giants given up 6 home runs. Their whip's 1.32. Both have pretty high ERAs still to start the season. So I think I'm gonna take the Giants in that one. Matt Chapman could potentially hit another home run. Other than that, I don't know if I want to take Jorge Soler, but I don't know if. Let's see. I mean, Michael Conforto was my go-to guy versus on the Giants team, but he let me down so many times already. So let's see. Jorge Soler hitting cleanup spot. Matt Chapman right after him. Conforto's down to the 6th spot now. All the home runs are coming from the guys deeper in the lineup here. On the other side, the Rays, let's look at them versus righties quickly before we move on. Let's see, Isaac Paredes, all 4 of his home runs have come from right-handed pitching. They're going versus the lefty. My bad. Rays versus lefties. Yeah, all bad numbers here. Most of their guys hit, let's see, Jose Caballero, the guy that I would have put in my home run prop instead of freaking that dumb. Never mind. Doesn't matter. But he's the one that hit the home run that day that would have made me a nice, cool $100,000. That's heartbreaking. Anyways, he's hitting a 385 average versus lefties. Honestly, I don't think a lot of these guys really do much to Snell unless he walks some batters. I think it could be a lower scoring start to the game, but I'm going to take the Giants. Even though they're pretty inconsistent, I just think their offense can be pretty dangerous. I like their lineup a lot better. So, give me the Giants there. As far as like first inning or anything, I don't really have anything for that one. I was looking at, where is it? The Giants have allowed a run in the first inning or scored a first inning run in 9 of their 15 games. So the Rays are pretty much, these teams are both the same. If anyone is going to go nerfy, it's going to be this game due to like the Sean Armstrong probably just pitching that 1 inning. Blake Snell. So, I mean, there is a good reason why this is juiced to the no-run first inning. And with the main hitters, the power hitters hitting in the 4 and 5 and 6 spots. So if Armstrong can just get three quick outs, this could go no runs first inning. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, in a pitcher-friendly ballpark. What game are we? Let's see. I guess we can go to the Astros game, and then we'll go to the Nationals game. The Astros here, disappointing start to the season. Have won 5 of their last 11, 5-11 so far on the season. You got Nathan Eovaldi, who the Astros know pretty well, going against Christian Javier. Javier has been roughed up by a lot of these guys. They know him well too. Shit. Texas. There we go. All right. So, all right. The righties here going. I'm going to change all this shit again. So I know Jose Altuve has good numbers. Yordan Alvarez. all guys that I was putting in the home run prop videos and have been just letting me down. Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, all on the most likely report for today. As far as the matchups, Alvarez has 2 home runs in 17 at bats. Altuve 5 home runs, 36 at bats. Yeah, there's lots of previous history here between these two. So we see Yordan Alvarez hitting in the 2 spot, Yanier Diaz hitting cleanup. Adolis Garcia hitting cleanup for the Rangers. The Rangers are like not hitting a lot of home runs, which is kind of surprising. Still, it's Garcia that has 4 home runs. Versus as he leads the team with 4 home runs, and everybody else has like 1, 1, 1, 0. Jonah Heim has 2. And then you look at like the first 6 of this lineup, 3 home runs, 4 home runs, 4 home runs, 3 home runs, 0, 2, 1, 0, 0. So Jose Abreu has absolutely been abysmal for this Astros team. His batting average is basically 0 in the sense. Just terrible. Okay, when you look at Astros update. Okay, so yesterday we seen Houston finally get the bounce back that they were looking for. They won that game like 9-2. The game before that, 12-8. So still 5-5 as far as head-to-head data goes. 7-2-1 to the over. Honestly, with Andrew Heaney going yesterday, I didn't have any faith in Texas yesterday. I liked Blanco as a starter. They were tied after the first 5 innings, which I was kind of surprised of, and then it just opened up after that. I think it was when like Jose Urena came in. He just blew the game completely for the Rangers. Nathan Eovaldi, let's see, he's been making his 4th start. He took the loss versus Oakland. His last at bat, gave up a home run. He has 8 strikeouts in both of his last 2 outings. So only giving up 1 home run so far this season. Christian Javier has yet to give up a home run this season. Honestly, this one is kind of tough for me. I slightly lean to the over probably. I don't really want to be laying juice with the Astros right now. I want to take Altuve to hit a home run, but every time I've bet him, he hasn't hit a home run, and then when I do bet him, he does hit when I don't bet him, he does hit a home run. So I don't know. His number is pretty good, like plus 600 ish, and leading off, he's going to get 4 to 5 at bats, right? So let's look at RBIs maybe for this one. I could see Yanier Diaz getting an RBI again. He's got RBIs in 4 of his last 5 games. He had an RBI last game. He only gets 1 usually when he gets them, but he can knock any of those guys in that are ahead of him. So don't mind him to get an RBI at plus 150. Wyatt Langford has 2 RBIs, or has RBIs in back-to-back games. Langford is hitting in the 6th spot. He's got 8 RBIs in the season. Let's look at these guys versus Rangers versus right-handed pitching so far. Obviously, with Josh Young being out, that was a big hit to this Rangers lineup. But Adolis Garcia is your next guy. 4 home runs versus right-handed pitching. So all of his home runs this season have come off righties. 333 average. Corey Seager has a home run, batting 364 average versus righties. Marcus Semien has a home run versus righties. Jonah Heim has 1. Wyatt Langford is batting 292. So he can hit for kind of small ball guy. Like, he's not going to give you lots of power and like lots of home runs and stuff like that. But as far as the Astros go, Astros versus righties, you got Jose Altuve leading the team, 3 home runs, 413 average, 761 slugging. So Jose Altuve hitting righties really well. Good history versus Eovaldi. Obviously, at being in Houston, there's no boost or anything versus for the no weather or nothing, but because it's in a dome. But Jose Altuve is still plus 600. Honestly, wouldn't blame anybody for betting Jose Altuve to get a home run at plus 600. And I think I'd take the Rangers as far as like taking a side. I think I got to go with the Rangers here. Even though Christian Javier hasn't given up a home run yet, I just don't have a lot of faith in him getting too deep into the games. I don't know. I don't really like Javier that much. And both these pitchers are kind of similar when you're looking at their numbers, but I should have pulled up their hard hit rates and stuff. But I don't know. We don't need to spend a lot of time on that one. I think it's just you got to go with. I think you got to take the plus money on that one. I think the Rangers are just the better team, personally, better form. So that's it. Let's go. Let's see what's next. What one haven't we talked about? They should. This game kind of, for most people, this is kind of a dud game, but there's still value and money to be made here. So looking at this one, as far as like the weather goes, they are slight wind blowing out. Could see a potential chance of rain, but not seeing like a big number as far as rain goes. But cooler temperatures is not what you really want when you're in Oakland. Let's see. All right, so Trevor Williams versus Alex Wood. Look, these two games have been low scoring. We've seen 2-1 and 3-1. I took the under 8.5 yesterday, and I absolutely hate unders, but I had to take it because it just looked like a layup there. You got Trevor Williams going for this one. He only had 2 strikeouts in 5 innings his last start, but he did only give up that 1 earned run to San Francisco. And then he had 5 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, the one before that. Trevor Williams has yet to give up a home run so far this season, and I don't see this A's lineup as being too dangerous. Trevor Wood on the other side, the lefty. Come on. So yeah, Alex Wood on the lefty. He pitched 4 innings in that Texas win. He had 3 walks. He gave up a home run, 2 earned runs, 5 hits. This time before that, he struck out 7 versus Boston. When you look at these teams, let's see, A's Athletics versus righties. Shea Langoliers has 4 home runs versus right-handed pitching, slugging at 600. Zach Geloff has 2 home runs. I think he has a home run in his career versus Trevor Williams as well. Then you look at a lot of these other guys, all batting averages in the below 200. Lawrence Butler has 1 home run, batting .219, but I think this game starts off a little bit slower. When you look at these teams as far as like no-run innings for stats, the Nationals are 12-2 as a team to the no-run first inning, going 4 in a row, no-run first innings. The Athletics are kind of middle of the pack, 7-8, but they've went no-run first inning 3 times in a row. I think with this pitching matchup, pitcher-friendly ballpark, I think this game starts off a little slower. Alex Wood can get some ground balls going. He can make players hit into double plays and stuff like that. Trevor Williams, he might not strike out a ton of guys, but he can induce ground balls as well. So definitely something you want to see when you're going to bet a nerfy, is if the pitchers can potentially keep the ball on the ground or in the park and not giving up lots of fly balls. I mean, Oakland is hitter-friendly ballpark. It looks like it should be somewhat hitter-friendly. I'm just hoping for a slow start to the game, and I lean to the Nationals. I'm not laying juice with the Athletics. The Nationals at plus money. As far as home runs, I mean, I don't know if I can really get to any guys just because this is kind of a hard one. These two teams are not really home run hitting teams, right? So the Nationals versus lefties. CJ Abrams is kind of your go-to guy. Joey Gallo can, but his average is not very good. His slugging, yeah, I don't really love it. But CJ Abrams plus 900. He's got 2 home runs and 14 at bats with 357 average, 786 slugging versus left-handed pitching. Now, obviously, that's only going to get you through the first 4 or 5 innings, and then your right or your bullpen comes in, but. On the other side, Shea Langoliers or Zach Geloff would be kind of the only 2 guys I would look at maybe for the A's, but not in a game I would be rushing to bet home run props in. But we did see 2 home runs hit in that one game previous. So the matchups, let's see. Zach Geloff, 2 home runs and 3 at-bats versus Trevor Williams in his career. Abrams, 1 home run, 5 at-bats, 600 average. So those would be 2 guys I would look at. But again, I lean to the Nationals in the money line at the plus price. Also, I think I would just take the Nerfy in this game. Okay. What else? What are we at here? What the fuck is this? St. Louis, Arizona, Chicago. Let's go to St. Louis. All right, St. Louis, Arizona. All right, so we got Zach Allen and Miles Mikolas, the 2 righties going. I think Zach Allen is the slightly better pitcher here. Miles Mikolas I think he still leads the MLB in hard hit rate and barrel percentage as far as pitchers go. Pitchers. Oh, it's come down a little bit maybe since he had a couple of good outings. All right, so look at this one. We've seen a lower scoring game yesterday. St. Louis has won 6 of the last 10 meetings, 8-2 to the over. Miles Mikolas, his last start, 3 strikeouts only in 6 2/3 innings. The one before that, 4 strikeouts in 6 innings. He's got 2 earned runs in back-to-back, no home runs in back-to-back starts. We did give up 2 home runs in that first start to the Dodgers, but I mean, it is the Dodgers, so not really surprising. Zach Gallen did get 10 strikeouts and pitched almost 110 pitches in his last outing. He did strike out 10, like I said, versus the Rockies in 5 innings, but it is the Rockies. They strike out a lot in general. Then versus the Yankees, he had 6 strikeouts. He has yet to give up a home run this season. Diamondbacks off a 4-2 win. I think the D-backs are just the slightly better team, but let's see. Diamondbacks versus right-handed pitching. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 2 home runs, 313 average. Patel Marte, 1 home run, 346 average. Christian Walker, 3 home runs, 219 average. That's pretty much it. You got Suarez and Corbin Carroll down at the bottom, not really batting very good versus righties. Cardinals. Let's see. D-backs, hard hit 8. So Christian Walker still leads the Diamondbacks with hard hit rate, barrel percentage. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is right behind him. So two guys that are definitely dangerous on this D-backs team. If anybody's got any good plays for this one, I can't decide with which side I like more on this one. I think Gallen has the edge when it comes to the starting pitching, but he is heavily juiced, and it's going to be a pretty public pretty public play, which I don't like. So I kind of want to take the Cardinals just on a value standpoint alone. But if Zach Gallen dazzles, this could be a lower scoring, slow start for the Cardinals. So Cardinals versus right-handed pitching. Nolan Gorman has 3 home runs, batting .262 average. Ivan Herrera, who a guy I've been kind of hot on this year so far, he's kind of gotten for a catcher. He's actually been playing pretty well. 2 home runs, .250 average. Wilson Contreras, 2 home runs, .258 average. Nolan Arenado, 1 home run, .302 average. Brendan Donovan, two home runs, .233 average. And then you got Goldschmidt way down at the bottom. He does have a home run versus a right-handed pitching, but he's batting .163 on the season. So I don't know. I don't mind this Cardinals lineup versus right-handed pitching. It's just whether or not they can get to Gallen. That is the only concern versus righties. So, right. So these two head-to-head. The Cardinals as a team batting .244 average. Diamondbacks batting .229. I don't know. I think I have to take the Cardinals on a strictly value numbers perspective. I think it's not a bad play. I could see another lower scoring game. These two bullpens are pretty similar. Cardinals have given up two more home runs than the Diamondbacks as far as the bullpen goes, but their ERAs are basically the same in the 3s. The WHIPs are 1.2. Cardinals have had 6 saves. Diamondbacks have had 3. I don't know. I think this line should be. I mean, it's on the move, so you could take the Cardinals plus a 1.5 and get the same price as laying the Diamondbacks money line, and you have that insurance as whether in case it is a 1-run game at the end and the Diamondbacks walk it off or something. You still have that little insurance as long as they just walk it off with a single and they win by 1. Then, then that's the same, right? So I don't know. It's kind of hard to lay the juice with this one. Just like I said, it's going to be a very public play with lots of people see Zach Gallen. They're going to bet the Diamondbacks right away. I don't know if they're going to open the dome or not at Chase Field, but because it is pretty hot there today, but there's no boost or anything as far as the numbers say for home run hitting, but I do lean Cardinals on this one. All right, let's go to the Cubs game. There's only 2 games left, I think. We're almost done. Javier Assad, Luis Castillo. I don't know if I really trust Castillo, honestly. He hasn't really shown a lot considering his form has been not the greatest. Last year was much better. All right, Chicago. Looks like the total's still at 7.5. The Mariners are 5-8-2 to the under this season. The Cubs are 8-6 to the over. Cubs have won 8 of 14 games this season. They did win yesterday 4-1, and they lost that first game 4-2. So we've seen both games 6 runs or less. Obviously, Seattle is more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So T-Mobile, as far as boosts for home runs, not showing much, showing a little bit negative even. What we got? Head-to-head, the Cubs have still won 8 of the last 10 meetings, 4-6 to the under. Like I said, we've seen back-to-back unders. I liked the Cubs yesterday. I mentioned why in the videos, but Shohei Amanga got the win there. Now we see Javier Assad. The last game he pitched was that game versus the Padres, and his bullpen came back and blew it. They had an 8-0 lead, and then the guys just gave it all up. But he had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings there with 1 home run given up. Castillo, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings, but he had 4 earned runs in all. He's given up 4 earned runs in 3 straight starts. He's given up 2 home runs, home run in 2 of his 3 starts. He hasn't recorded a win going back to last season, multiple games. So I think I think I have to go with the Cubs in this situation, but let's look at the last 5 games. Both these teams are not hitting right-handed pitching very well. You look at them the last 5 games, their average is 187 for the Cubs, 168 for the Mariners. Now the Mariners hit lefties better right now this season than they do versus righties, but seeing their numbers get that low is very bad. So the only guy that's kind of hit well versus right-handed pitching as far as home runs go is like, let's see, you got Dominic Canzone. Is that Canzone? However you say his name. 3 home runs, 219 average. So not the greatest average, but he still has 3 home runs, 11 strikeouts and 32 at bats. J.P. Crawford, 2 home runs, batting 100. Not what you want to see. Mitch Haniger, 2 home runs, batting 243. So I don't know. This is a tough one as far as like trying to find any players that look appealing, especially with potentially another lower scoring game. As far as the Cubs side goes, Michael Busch has RBIs in 3 straight games. Let's look at Cubs. Where are you? Oh, okay. I hate MLB.com sometimes. It's so annoying. Seriously? Stupid. All right. So, yeah, no lineups confirmed completely yet. The Cubs, the Mariners have no history, batter versus pitcher matchup history versus Javier Assad. The Cubs have a little bit. You got Ian Happ, who's got 27 plate appearances, 1 home run. Cody Bellinger, 16 at-bats, 2 RBIs, no home runs, batting 188. Dansby Swanson, 14 at-bats, batting 214. Nico Horner, 9 at-bats, batting 667. That's kind of it. So as far as, I don't know, I just think the Cubs are just a little bit better team, a little bit better form, and I do not like the Mariners batting versus righties. Mariners bullpen is kind of average. Both these bullpens, I think, have given up 7 home runs in the season. Mariners have a 3.42 ERA. The Cubs 4.75. Look at the bullpens. Let's see. We got a couple guys. Yeah, they're actually not bad as far as they got a few guys that still are rested here. They didn't have to use a ton as far as their bullpen goes. Same kind of thing when you look at the Mariners. So honestly, it wouldn't shock me to see another boring, lower scoring game, but I'm just going to take the Cubs in that one. The Mariners are 12-3 to the no-run first inning, having 5 no-run first innings go in a row. 7-1 as underdogs, which I believe they probably are underdogs today. I forgot to look at the line. Oh no, the Cubs are the dogs at plus 130. Okay, I like that even more. Obviously, Castillo is going to be the favorite just because like he's had really good career success, but he's given up 4 earned runs in all 3 starts. And like I said, I just trust the Cubs a little bit better. I do think this game could potentially start slow again, though. So the Cubs have hit 5 no-run first innings in a row as well. 7-3 as an underdog. The Mariners 5-2 as a favorite to the Nerfy. The Cubs are 10-4 as a whole on the season, no-run first inning. So I think I would play the no-run first inning in the Cubs, Mariners, the Nationals, and the A's. Both those 2 Nerfies actually I don't mind those ones. Obviously, they're probably minus 125, around minus 130, but I don't mind those Nerfies. So I think that is the one. So give me. In the Cubs Mariners, Cubs, I gotta take them as dogs. Honestly, you could take them plus the 1.5, but you're laying heavy juice. So as far as the first inning, give me no run first inning, and home run props. I don't really have any as far as either side. Kyle Riley has 2 home runs in his last 5 games for as far as like trends go, but other than that, Michael Bush on the other side. Like I said, he has RBIs in 3 straight games. Those all did come on home runs. I should have mentioned that. So he has 3 home runs in his last 5 games. So I don't know. The dude's on fire. So plus 450-ish for him to hit a home run versus right-handed pitching. Like I said, he's got 4 home runs, batting .350, slugging at .725. I mean, it's kind of hard to bet on a guy to hit home runs in 4 straight games, but he's got 3 straight game home runs, so maybe he can keep doing it. I don't know. That's kind of interesting, but all right, last game. Let's go. Where's the Dodgers? This Dodgers game. Now I'm seeing potential of rain coming in during the evening game. 60% chance around first pitch, and then kind of slightly going, maybe cooling off a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. I don't live in LA, obviously, so I couldn't tell you what the weather's doing right now. But I'm just looking at what the number or what the pages are showing me. So as far as data, so potential of rain, I do see that. You got James Paxton going here for Paxton and Darvish. Paxton is the lefty. Darvish, obviously the Dodgers know him well. Freddie Freeman has 2 home runs in his career off Yu Darvish. James Outman has a home run in his career. Will Smith, Mookie Betts, Austin Barnes. On the other side, other than Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts, that's about it. But Bogaerts, let's see. Let's look at Dodgers first. Let's see. Yesterday, the game started pretty slow. Last time I looked at it, it was like 4th inning, I think, 0-0. Dodgers did get the win 5-2 in that one, which kind of surprising. The total was at 9 there. I was actually expecting a few more runs. We have seen the over go 7-3 to the over the last 10. Yu Darvish, his last start, only had 4 strikeouts in 3. Well, he did only pitch 3 innings, but that was that game where he got pulled versus the Cubs. And then his start before that, 6 strikeouts in 7 innings. He's given up 1 home run only in 3 starts. I think that could change versus obviously the Dodgers power lineup that can absolutely mash. What are we looking? Let's see. Put Yu Darvish in here. Yu Darvish. Then let's go. Okay, so as far as, let's look at Yu Darvish first. All right, his expected ERA is up over almost 5. His expected batting average, 266. Barrel percentage is around 8%. Hard hit rates in the mid-50s. So let's see. Weighted on base average so far, 307. Expected slugging 422. Honestly, I could see Darvish giving something up here to this lethal Dodgers lineup. Dodgers versus righties. So obviously Mookie is absolutely crushing right-handed pitching. He's got 5 home runs, 16 hits, a double, a triple, 11 RBIs, 12 walks, 791 slugging, and a 372 average versus right-handed pitching. Absolutely raking. Shohei Ohtani, 3 home runs, 7 doubles, 7 RBIs, 372 average, 791 slugging. Him and Mookie are obviously just on fire. And then you got Teoscar Hernandez, 3 home runs, 277 average, 511 slugging, 2 doubles versus right-handed pitching. Max Muncy, 2 home runs, 282 average. James Outman, 2 home runs, 200 average. Freddie Freeman, 1 home run, 351 average, or 3 doubles. So obviously, all these guys can mash right-handed pitching. The Dodgers are a very dangerous team. We know that. Looking at the Padres versus lefties. Okay, so James Paxton had 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, gave up a home run in his last start in that game versus the Twins. And then his previous start before that, 5 strikeouts in 5 innings versus the Giants. Looks like he's, going 5. You might get 6 innings out of Paxton. Oops. Padres versus lefties. Not a lot of great numbers. I mean, Tatis is only hitting 125 with 1 home run. Machado 125 with 1 home run. Bogarts is hitting 300 with 1 home run, 600 slugging versus lefties. And like I said, Bogarts has great numbers versus Paxton in his career. 3 home runs, 6 at-bats, batting .269 average, and 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 26 at-bats, batting .269. So Xander Bogaerts potentially could get one. I mean, all these guys can hit. I hope this game doesn't get rained out. I really don't. But what was the temperatures again? Yeah, the only thing that sucks is that it's going to be a little cooler. These guys usually like to play in a little bit warmer temperatures. So James Paxton here, his expected batting average drops to like 215. Barrel percentage is like 3%. Hard hit rate's below 47%. So all good numbers as far as Paxton goes. His WOBA is 295 or 261 with his expected WOBA at 295. 20% K rate. Look, his numbers aren't bad, honestly. As far as that goes, the Dodgers are always going to be a public team, especially with Shohei Ohtani now. We're seeing them as minus 150 favorites. It's kind of hard to not take the Dodgers in this one. I could see, I don't know. It sucks that the weather is unknown in this one, because I could see some home runs being hit in this game. But if the weather's potentially going to be cold for these guys, and there's potentially going to be like a stop or rain delay or something, that's the only thing that sucks with taking like an over or playing like a certain prop or whatever, because those stops can really change the way the the game goes. But I kind of lean to the over, but I think I would just take the Dodgers here. I think they get this one done. I like how they're mashing right-handed pitching. Shohei Ohtani leads the MLB in barrel percentage at 18% almost. As far as the Dodgers versus hard hits and barrels, so Shohei Ohtani, then you got Mookie Betts, and then Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, James Outman, Freddie Freeman, and then way at the bottom you got Gavin Lux and Chris Taylor, who haven't hit home runs yet. As far as the Padres go, Jake Cronenworth still leads the Padres with a 12.3% barrel rate. Xander Bogaerts is kind of middle of the pack. His home runs are not going hard, but he's gotten a decent amount of batted ball events, just not barreling them hard enough. Tatis Jr., 8.3% barrel rate, 6 barrels on 56 batted ball events. Yeah, I don't know. Just give me the Dodgers on this one. I can't really see much else as far as trying to get to the Padres here. But I could see a couple of the main guys hitting home runs. Obviously, like I said, Mookie Betts mashes right-handed pitching. You Shohei Ohtani. Let's see. So yeah. What the hell? All right, we're almost done wrapping this up here. Games are going to start soon. Xander Bogaerts is only plus 650. He's usually, when he's in San Diego, his numbers are usually plus 900 or so. But obviously, with the change of hitting condition, that changes with the batter versus pitcher matchup. That changes as well. Tatis is still at plus 400. Mookie Betts at plus 450. Shohei Ohtani plus 225. It's hard not to take Mookie Betts at plus 450, considering how well he hits righties. And like I said, he does have a home run. I kind of want to take Teoscar Hernandez at plus 450, but I don't know. That's about it. I don't really have anything else. Let's need to figure out a home run. Got to make a lottery ticket here for today. Jake Cronenworth has 3 home runs in his last 5. Edward Julian, maybe of the Twins. Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds. I want to take somebody from the Royals lineup too. Potentially Juan Soto for the Yankees. Mike Trout for the Angels. See, Mike Trout plus 375. Mike Trout mashes right-handed pitching, so it's definitely what you want. That Orioles-Brewers game, like, I want to find a couple guys. It's just hard not knowing how the Brewers are going to be versus Corbin Burns, but, I mean, Colton Cowser potentially has a good hard hit rate. He has a few home runs in his last 5 games. I kind of want to take Cowser, honestly, but where is he? Oh my God. Stupid advertising. In the Blue Jays game, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in that team right now. Yeah. Okay, so Cowser's hitting in the 6th spot. Honestly, I could see him getting one again. Santander sitting in the 3 spot. He's just not been hitting the greatest for average. So give me, all right, so Mike Trout, Colton Cowser. And this Pirates-Phillies game, man, this is a tough one. I could see Mitch Keller giving up a couple. Philly batters here. Trey Turner still not having a home run. Mind-boggling. JT Realmuto potentially here. Batting in the cleanup spot. He does only have 2 home runs, but I want to take somebody from the Phillies lineup. Realmuto, Brandon Marsh. Is he in the lineup? Yeah. Maybe give me Brandon Marsh. It's plus 600. JT Realmuto's plus 375. I mean, obviously you're getting a little bit more. You're going to get 4 at-bats from him hitting in the cleanup spot. But Brandon Marsh, the lefty, mashes right-handed pitching. I could see him getting one. Where else? Okay, we're going to go to guaranteed rate field next. I'm kind of skipping the Braves and the Marlins and the Blue Jays and the Rockies game right now because, well, I don't have a lot of faith in those ones. I can't narrow it down to any specific guys. Bobby Witt Jr. is only plus 260. That kind of sucks. Salvador Perez plus 250. Man, those numbers are obviously, I mean, they're for good reason, but Bobby Witt, I don't think at plus 260 is really the greatest, personally, considering he only has a home run. What the hell? Fucking mouse just died. That suck. All right, who's got some home? There you go, reconnected. Oops. That's fine, son. Drop your home run picks in the comments. Let's see what you guys got. We can can look at potential like guaranteed rate field. Like the Reds should be able to hit some home runs off Michael Soroka. The Phillies could potentially get a couple off of, maybe get one or two. I like the Yankees-Cleveland matchups, specifically the Yankees side of it a little bit more. Kansas City, New York Mets. I like Kansas City there. So let's go to, and then Minnesota and Detroit. Yeah, okay, so the Royals. Royals, Mets. This one's kind of a little tough to narrow down, but as far as, especially with KC not having any previous history versus Jose Budo, but they can hit right-handed pitching. Yeah. Royals. Okay. All right. So, like I said, Bobby Witt Jr. leads as far as home runs, slugging versus righties, which is why you're seeing his number so low. MJ Melendez, 3 home runs, 714 slugging, 314 average. Let's see. Melendez is batting, what, 5th spot? Yeah. Vinny Pasquantino. Mikel Garcia hitting in the leadoff spot is kind of interesting, but he's got 3 home runs. He's only slugging at 400 with 200 average. His line at plus 525. Nelson Velasquez at plus 320. He's got 2 home runs, 333 average, 528 slugging. Velasquez is down to the 6th spot now. Let's look. I mean, obviously, Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez. I kind of want to take Mikel Garcia. I really do, but he's still got a 12% barrel rate this season. And he's leading off, so, I mean, you're guaranteed he's going to hit 4 times, maybe 5. Him and Witt should both get probably around 5 at-bats, unless this is a pitcher's duel where it oh, man. Do I put Bobby Witt Jr. in there or Mikel Garcia? It's really hard to decide. Kansas City. All right. I don't really want to go to Salvador Perez. I mean, he's got home runs in back-to-back games so far in this series, and it wouldn't shock me to see him hit another one. But I just don't like where his line is. Mikel Garcia hasn't hit a home run in 10 games now. Witt hit one at least a few games ago. Am I going to bite it? Put Bobby Witt Jr. in there? Does he get one? Or do I throw Nelson Velasquez in there? I need some suggestions, y'all. Give me some suggestions. Gonna end the stream right away. Just trying to cook something up that looks all right. Where are we at? All right. Throwing Witt in, I guess. I don't know if I should. Let's see. 3 home runs. Let's see, last one's 12 hits. 333. Jimmy Melendez plus 350. Jay Melendez at plus 350. He's 4th, 12% barrel rate. 414 average home run, 17. Screw it. I'm taking Mikel Garcia. Okay. Going for it all. I could literally get to any of those top 4 guys, really, and pick any of them. All right, Twins, Tigers. So it's either Julian or Tigers. Julian, who has 2 home runs in his last 5 games. His line has been moved plus 750. Holy shiza. All right. Julian hitting in the leadoff spot. He's got 4 home runs so far this season. Jeffers right behind him. Both guys I don't mind. Pretty much where all the offense is coming from this Twins team. As far as the Tigers side, I do like Marcano, but I don't love his numbers and his recent history. Matchups. Spencer Torkelson has 1, but not the greatest. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green hitting first. Let's see. Tigers versus Raggies. All right, Riley Green, 2 home runs. Kerry Carpenter. I think I originally said Kerry Carpenter. He's at plus 525. Riley Green's 4-set plus 475. Carpenter's hitting in the cleanup spot. Riley Green is hitting leadoff. So Riley Green leads the Tigers with a 10% barrel rate. Carpenter, 8.1% barrel rate. All right. Let's go Riley Green on that one. And then Reds, White Sox. I don't know if Ellie can stay on it. Reds. Ellie De La Cruz is a wagon for sure. Three home runs in his last 5 games. This is hard, man. This is not easy. Trying to narrow all the selections down. I mean, there's lots of guys you can look at, obviously, but trying to narrow the selections down is where it gets tough. So Ellie didn't hit one yesterday, I don't think. So maybe that day off. That was a pitcher's duel for the first part of it. I do like the hitting conditions here. Okay. Cincinnati. All right, so Ellie's hitting in the 6th spot. I think Spencer Steer is really due for a home run here, but Tyler Stevenson, he hit one yesterday. He's hitting way at the bottom there. Yeah, so Ellie De La Cruz has 3 home runs, 344 average, 781 slugging. Spencer Steer, 2 home runs, 433 average, 800 slugging. Has 3 doubles, 1 triple, 13 hits, and 30 at-bats. And he has a good hard hit rate, plus 350. Him and Ellie have the same numbers. I don't know. Ellie De La Cruz, though, he can hit the ball and a triple turn into an inside the park home run. That's the only reason at the same price. I kind of like Ellie De La Cruz. The Yankees-Guardians game, I'd probably look at Juan Soto or Stanton. LED Cooper. Oh shit! I just missed it. Where's Steer batting? Actually, oops. This is a tough one. All right, gonna figure it out. Let's get off this. It's been a couple hours here. We had some comments, not very many. So went over all the games, gave some leans out. Kind of is what it is at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. Try to cook up some home run props. Good luck today, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.